Theater Review is a real cool show. Theater Review is a real cool show.
Welcome to Theater Review. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Nick.
Yeah.
Introduce me.
I'll do what I want.
Alright.
Anyway, tonight we are seeing Spectre, the new James Bond movie, because we can't see any more shitty movies.
Last week was pretty brutal.
Yeah. Paranormal Activity, if you haven't seen it, the link will be somewhere around here, wherever my fingers just went.
Yep.
So, what do we know about this movie, about Spectre?
I have actually not seen any of the trailers or any of the posters, actually, for
Have
this
you been
movie
purposely, avoiding them?
I've been purposely avoiding it, so I am going in this movie with a clean slate completely.
Alright, well then I will try to avoid spoiling anything. I haven't seen it, but,
Have you seen it?
I've seen trailers, you know what I mean? So I don't want to...
I have no idea, at all, except for the title of the movie.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I know that it's been getting pretty good reviews. It's been, criticized a little bit about the length, and, I think something about there's, a twist in it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Either way, that's what I've heard.
It's still not Shyamalan.
I
know that much.
Can't be that bad.
I know that it's Sam Mendes directing again.
Yeah, it is Sam Mendes.
So he directed Skyfall.
Yep.
So I'm pretty excited. I loved Skyfall.
Skyfall was really good, and you know what? The guy who did the music, I can't think of it. I think it's Thomas something. But the guy who did the music. He did the music in Skyfall, and he's done the music.
Oh, it's Thomas Newman.
Thomas Newman,
one of my favorite composers. By the way,
he does really good music. I think he did Finding Nemo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's composed Finding Nemo. He's done the Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows how...
He knows how to, really work melody and harmonies,
absolutely.
Together.
So, I'm excited to see what he does with this.
Yeah,
I
didn't even know that he was scoring this, or Skyfall, but...
I checked it before we left. I was like, oh my God.
That actually made me a lot more excited.
Yeah.
And it actually kind of clues into why I like the Skyfall soundtrack so much.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it.
It's great. And, Sam Smith, he did a song for this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does, and you know what? I listened to it. It's perfect. And his voice just...
Yeah,
it's really suiting to the mood.
Okay, well, don't spoil it.
I'm not. You know what? We're gonna...
It's the Bond song, right?
There's always a Bond song, just like Adele did Skyfall, right? So...
I watched the trailers for Skyfall originally, but I didn't listen to the Adele song before.
Oh, okay.
And I got chills.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I get chills this time.
When he's sinking into the water,
yes.
it's just it's total
I
Bond.
have never felt like that in the theater before.
Yeah, and it's total Bond, too, because it's exactly how the whole spy theme is done. Yeah. Anyway,
we should probably get in and buy our tickets.
Yeah, before we miss the first part of the movie. So we're gonna see you guys in 2 hours and a half, something like that. But for you guys, it'll be 10 seconds. So
So we will see you right.
Great time. Now we'll see you now.
I gotta say, I like the theme song.
Welcome back to singing
we just saw Spectre.
Also, we should maybe keep our voices down so we don't spike the mic a little bit. But
I brought it down.
All right, yeah, but
should be fine.
Maybe just one more. That's Sam Smith's song.
It was
actually good. I really liked it.
Not as good as the Adele song.
Yeah, that's true. Not as good
I
as
got
Skyfall.
goosebumps during the Adele song. I did not get goosebumps during that, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I did really like it. It was good.
I enjoyed the song.
I would say it's definitely is this Daniel Craig's last movie that he's doing as Bond?
I think it's up in the air right now.
Okay, if that's the case, I would say this is a really good way to end his legacy with the Bond franchise.
Right. So we're gonna go into this with full spoilers.
Yeah, full spoilers.
You never know with us. We're gonna talk about whatever the fuck.
So last thing what we didn't do with Paranormal Activity, because it was so bad and we just needed to ramble on, we forgot to summarize the movie. So quick little summary about this. So it's called Spectre for a reason.
It's a continuation of Daniel Craig's run as James Bond. which started in Casino Royale, then Quantum of Solace, then Skyfall,
and now this. And
Spectre.
it's essentially combining all the movies together. So there's this organization called Spectre that's essentially been almost behind everything that's been going on since Casino Royale.
Yeah, I think that's full-on spoiler right there.
Well...
Yeah.
Okay, well, good thing we said...
that's more than just a summary.
That's what... They give that away in the first, 5 minutes. Yeah, when they did the little octopus thing where, there's an octopus in it, whatever. That's...
I guess.
So unrelated.
Okay.
But
whatever.
It's first 20 minutes that gets given away.
Yeah.
So I mean
we're not spoiling much.
Yeah. So what did you really like about it?
To be honest, I didn't enjoy this as much as most James Bond movies.
You know what? I totally agree. Okay, for me, the ranking for the Daniel Craig movies, for the Daniel Craig movies, because I mean we can't include all of it. So
this is the 24th movie.
My favorite was Casino Royale. Because I mean it was the first one, and it was everyone was like, Daniel Craig, he's not, how can he play James Bond? And then he killed it. He slayed it. Yeah. And then Skyfall, Quantum of Solace, and I think this one would be at the bottom.
I think that's pretty much universal for Daniel Craig.
That's not a bad thing that it's at the bottom. It's just that Casino Royale was so...
Wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
You thought this was worse than Quantum of Solace?
Yeah, I didn't like Quantum of Solace that much.
But you thought this was worse than Quantum of Solace?
Yeah, I'd say this one's fourth. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You say that I don't know. Not to go rambling on about...
My ranking would be Casino Royale, Skyfall, Spectre, and then Quantum of Solace.
So, okay.
Except the Quantum of Solace intro scene with the car chase is probably one of my favorite scenes of the entire series.
Oh, where it's the flippies? And Oh, wait, that was Casino Royale.
No. Of Quantum of Solace. The
the
driving scene.
And he's on the mountainside.
Not the parkour.
We're not even talking about Spectre anymore.
We're talking about James Bond.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm not talking about the parkour scene in Casino Royale. Don't get me wrong, it was cool.
Yeah.
But the car chase scene in Quantum of Solace is badass.
Okay. You know what? Now you make a good point, because I think this one was definitely better than Quantum of Solace.
I think there's elements out of this movie that really stand out, and there's a lot of parts in this movie where it's cliche.
Oh my god, yes.
And there's some comedy that you don't usually see in James Bond movies.
Really.
And third of all, I pretty much knew the ending 15 minutes in.
Yeah, I would say. Like
I knew where it was going, I'd say 10, 15 minutes in already.
A couple good things. So the whole opening sequence, there's a part with there's a helicopter, and he's taken. Now that whole sequence in particular is perfect, and I was thinking about this while I was watching the movie, is that you could be the most dense human being on the face of this planet and have never seen a spy movie in your life, never heard of James Bond. You can watch that sequence as a short film and understand everything that's going on. There's not a word spoken. There's
a couple words spoken.
He says, "I'll be back.
I'll be right back."
So
he drops an Arnie, and then it goes out the window.
He drops an Arnie, but that's the only words that are spoken in that whole sequence. And the first half of it is one shot too. Yeah, it's
beautiful shot. Oh my god, it's a great tracking shot.
Yeah, and it was really cool because the music too. It was they're in Mexico in the scene, and it's a Mexican rendition of the James Bond theme, and then it slowly transitions into the actual theme when he takes off the mask and you see that it's Daniel Craig there.
Yeah.
And I just really liked that scene because it was you could watch it.
I thought it was really cool, and I mean I think this was one of the only bits that I heard. I heard that they were paid to film in Mexico for at least part of the film.
They were paid to film there?
Yeah, they were paid. They were paid by Mexico to bring some kind of work there, right?
Huh.
So obviously they took advantage of Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Which
awesome.
paid off. The visuals of that first scene, like,
that's like my
all
favorite
the
scene.
skulls
That was
and
like, yeah, that
whatnot.
was like
It
my
was
favorite scene in the movie.
fantastic.
And he's in like the death suit.
Oh, so
it was
cool.
cool.
James Bond's skeleton.
Yeah,
mask.
yeah.
That was really cool.
Now the thing you mentioned, it felt there was like the cliches in the comedy.
Yes.
Now
I mean,
okay. Now hang on, I can start this off.
Okay, all right.
There was
you go.
a few. Okay, a few is an understatement. There were a lot of moments where it felt like that Mr. Bean spy movie.
Right.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes.
Like, there's a part where he falls down and he lands on a couch and he's like perfectly fine and he's got the handle that he's hanging on to. He's like, oh, and he throws it away. Or when he jumps like through the hole with holding her and just lands in the net and just like is perfectly. There's so many Mr. Bean.
There were
moments.
so many coincidence
God,
moments. Like, oh my God,
and that
there's this
ruin
net
them.
here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this couch just has to be here. Oh my God, it's my last bullet in my gun. The helicopter finally explodes.
Oh God, yes.
Like,
that was a good one. It's
really,
and that,
really.
You know, that doesn't ruin. It doesn't ruin.
I don't
the
think
movie.
it ruins it, but it really breaks my suspension of disbelief.
Exactly, it takes you out of the moment. You're like, all right, I'm watching a movie now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're no longer part of the atmosphere. You're in a theater in a chair watching a screen.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it does.
Yeah.
Like, especially like there was that moment where we both had the same thought. So this, I mean, we've been spoiling it already, but there's a part where James Bond is in the metal chair, and the main bad guy, Christoph Waltz, who did a fantastic job as the bad guy.
He was pretty good.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's been better, but he did a really good job.
I mean, that's probably my least favorite role that I've seen him play, but he's amazing in whatever he does.
Either way, so Christoph Waltz is about to drill some holes into James Bond's head.
Yeah.
And there's a part where he has a white cat for no reason, and it is the typical like white fluffy evil cat that all
the evil
bad guys
villain
have.
has the cat.
Yeah, it's got white fur. He sits and he like strokes, just like yes, like it was spot on, exactly what a it.
What it seemed to me,
okay,
is that Spectre was a bunch of different movies where they were like, this is a good idea for a movie.
They just like
this is a good idea for a movie. Let's throw all of these ideas.
That was the same thing with Poltergeist, eh?
Poltergeist?
When we said that for Poltergeist, for Paranormal Activity, we were saying
we did say the same thing. Like they're grabbing all these elements from other movies and trying to weave them into something that's really cool. And there were so many plot holes in this movie, and some of them were more obvious than not.
Pretty glaring at a lot of times.
But most of the time it was pretty glaring, and sometimes you didn't even know what the hell was going on.
Oh yeah, sometimes they're throwing names, like there's so many names.
Like you didn't even know, like what was the point of him coming out as Blofeld within the last 20 minutes of the film?
Yeah, like there's just so many names that they throw at you. Like they're almost assuming that when this movie came out that you went and watched Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall immediately before going to see it. Right, like, and that you have to remember every single person's name you're going to remember, like them and their face. Like there's a lot of scenes where I was
there's a lot of hearkening back to the other films in the franchise.
Yeah, I'd say like this film is good as a standalone if you haven't seen any of the others, but at the same time it's like it's pretty unforgiving. If
I think this is one of the least like standalone James Bond films. I feel like this is almost using all of the other movies as a crutch to try and do something more, but towards the end it was just a simple bland plot. Yeah, I'm just saying that if you haven't seen them, it's still okay. Like it's not like I don't think it's the worst James Bond. Yeah. The last James Pierce Brosnan movie. But you're throwing shade there. I'm throwing a little shade. Invisible Car, that's all I need to say. You're going to get crucified by Pierce Brosnan fans. No one's a fan of that movie. Invisible Car, that's all I need to say. Okay. But... Wait, which one again? I think it was
Die
Another Day. Or
That-
Diamonds Are Forever. I think that might be it. I'm probably screwing it up. Whatever. I don't know.
I like Pierce Brosnan.
It's probably been like 10 years since I've seen the movie.
Okay.
Regardless. I don't think it's the worst James Bond movie ever.
Yeah.
Spectre.
Okay.
But even as a movie itself, like, I didn't really enjoy... Like, I enjoyed myself enough to have merited the popcorn. It merited the popcorn.
No, it was a good movie.
But
the price tag, like, for what...
I thought it was okay. I mean, we got in for free.
Yeah, dude, two free tickets on
We got two free tickets.
But it was a good movie.
But it was pretty solid.
I feel like the problem is that when you go see a James Bond movie, you hold it to a James Bond standard.
I
right?
was expecting another Skyfall and another Casino Royale, especially with Christoph Waltz as the villain.
It was like I liked it, but
I
wouldn't
think it
call
was solid.
Yeah.
I don't think it was outstanding.
So, do we have anything else to say about this?
About this,
on the topic of James Bond, or on the topic of what about love? I can feel you here in my arms.
What about love?
It's such a good song.
I'm probably gonna download that song to
probably.
be honest tonight.
Now we're just
play it
getting
on
off
repeat.
topic.
I don't care.
Yeah, that was
The song was great. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I actually really like
the soundtrack, the whole soundtrack. Okay, we were talking about him. What was
Thomas
his name?
Newman.
Thomas Newman.
Very good.
He without Thomas Newman, I feel like this movie would have been so much less because the soundtrack was spot on.
It was very good, and it hit the right moments.
Oh, absolutely.
I also think, though, it was one of the least Thomas Newman-y soundtracks that I've ever heard. Yeah. There were a couple of, like, parts where he's got, like, he had some kind of, like, harmony, melody, whatever that, like, his signature
it
stuff.
really followed, like, the movie cinematically.
Like, it follows the beats, it follows everything right, and I think it brought another element out of it, but at the same time, it wasn't really Thomas Newman-y to my taste. I've listened to a lot of his soundtracks.
See, I don't know it too
like
well. I know, like a few,
but, like, he's up there in my list, like, next to Danny Elfman and John Williams.
Hans Zimmerman?
Hans Zimmer. He's freaking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Zimmerman, it's Zimmer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone's gonna make fun of me.
I'm gonna roast you. Forget the
Oh,
thing.
yeah. They're like, who's that dummy in the beanie who couldn't remember Hans Zimmer's name?
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon. Anyway, I guess... Well, my camera cut out because I'm a big dumb idiot and didn't charge the battery, but we're back.
We're back.
In 2 seconds.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch on the opening sequence, though, a little bit, like the opening James Bond sequence. I actually thought, besides Skyfall, this was one of the best opening title sequences out of all of the James Bond movies that I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, stylistically, like, with the octopus and whatever, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just my opinion.
It was.
I haven't seen every James Bond movie, but out of the ones that I've seen, it was second to Skyfall.
Oh, it was like the special effects in it, and just like how it was all stylized. Like, it was really good.
Noir is really cool.
Yeah. So rating wise, if you're a fan of the series, you're gonna like it. You're not gonna expect it's not gonna be the next big thing, but it's definitely
not the best.
Yeah, it's definitely a good James Bond.
It's not the worst.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
I think
it's just in there. It's in there.
It's okay.
It's another step in the story. Yeah. It's definitely a good way to end Daniel Craig's legacy if he's not.
If he doesn't continue.
If he doesn't continue. If you're looking for a great action movie, though, this is it's definitely a great action movie.
If you're looking for something to take your girlfriend out, or your wife,
or your boyfriend,
or your boyfriend, or your husband.
That was kind of a hint, but whatever. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Or your sister, or your brother.
You're looking for explosions. You're just looking for something fun. It's a fun movie.
It was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good.
It was good.
It was okay.
I think we're gonna stop saying that's good and okay. And kind of just close here now.
I'm still pretty mixed on it.
Okay, let's end on that. You gotta pull that up. You have to. This has been Theater Review. You keep singing.
This is Theater Review.
And
this is with Theater Review with Red and Nick.
We will see you next time. Bye.
See you next week. Blowfield. Where is she?
Try to Christina Aguilera.